Ever met someone who's just a little too into books, gives off charming but might bury you in the woods vibes, and somehow always gets the girl despite setting off every red flag on Earth? Yup, that's Joe Goldberg for you.
Paula Fox, top shelves, you want me to?
Oh, no, I got it.
From the outside, he's the soft-spoken book lover who quotes literature and makes fancy coffee. But underneath all that rom-com energy is a dude with more skeletons in his closet than a Spirit Halloween warehouse. In this video, we're breaking down exactly how long Joe would rot behind bars if the justice system ever caught up with him. And trust me, it's not just a slap on the wrist. We're talking everything from identity theft to full-blown murder. And we're going crime by crime to build the case. But before we start, I'm on a mission to hit 1,000 subs. If you want to help, please hit that subscribe button. Before Joe even touches a weapon, the guy is already breaking the law left and right. He changes names like most of us change passwords. In season 2, he shows up in Los Angeles pretending to be a guy named Will Bettelheim. Spoiler, that's not his real name. It belongs to a completely different dude that Joe literally locks in a storage unit. Yeah, not sketchy at all. In real life, stealing someone's identity like this can land you up to 15 years in prison, especially if you're using their name to open accounts or dodge the cops, which Joe definitely does. So yeah, Joe's already looking at around 20 years behind bars at this point, and we're just getting started. We haven't even touched the stalking, kidnapping, or the other thing. You know, the part where people stop breathing. Stalking and harassment. If being creepy was a crime, oh wait, it actually is. Joe would be serving back-to-back life sentences just for watching people through windows. This dude stalks harder than your ex with a burner Instagram account. Whether it's Beck, Love, or Marianne, Joe always starts with the same playbook.
You get what?
You did everything for me. No one has ever loved me the way that you love me.
Follow them around, read their texts, track their phones, memorize their schedules, and somehow convince himself it's all romantic. Bro, it's not love, it's a felony. In the US, stalking is no joke. It's considered a criminal offense in all 50 states. If you're caught following someone, invading their privacy, or using technology to track them without consent, you can get up to 5 years in prison per victim. And Joe, he's got at least 3. He also sends anonymous messages, messes with people's relationships, and even breaks into apartments to watch over them. That's called harassment and breaking and entering, Joe, not being protective. So at this point, Joe's creeping his way into another 15 years behind bars. And again, still no blood spilled, yet. But that glass box? Oh yeah, it's coming. Kidnapping and false imprisonment. Alright, let's talk about the box, you know the one. That creepy soundproof bookstore glass cage thing that Joe somehow builds everywhere he goes like it's IKEA furniture. Joe has locked up multiple people in that box, sometimes for protection, sometimes just so they'll shut up. Victims include Benji, Beck, Candace, Will, and Marianne, just to name a few. Seriously, he's put more people in that cage than your average escape room business.
Even this. Oh, God. I wish I knew what you were thinking.
Now let's talk real life consequences. Kidnapping in the US is a huge deal. It's not just, oops, I kept someone locked in a box for a few days. It's a felony that can carry 20 years to life per person, especially if there's any threat, injury, or death involved. And Joe's got at least 5 victims here. On top of that, he's guilty of false imprisonment, which is basically holding someone against their will without legal authority. Even if they're not hurt, that still adds more years. You can get 3 to 10 years per count depending on the state. So now we can easily add another 100 plus years in prison. And we still haven't talked about the murder. That's right, all this time, Joe's been kidnapping people like it's his part-time job, and we haven't even gotten to the bodies yet. But don't worry, the body count's next, and it's a lot. Murder, murder, and you guessed it, more murder. Now it's time to talk about the big one. The reason Joe Goldberg isn't just a creepy guy with boundary issues, but a full-blown killer. And not just once, not even twice. Joe's been stacking bodies like he's trying to win a dark, twisted game of Jenga. Let's start with the early days. Remember Benji, the smug coffee guy with a nut allergy? Yeah, Joe killed him. Then there was Peach, Beck's best friend. She caught on to Joe's weird vibes, so Goodbye, Peach. And then of course there was Beck herself, his actual girlfriend. That whole "I kill you because I love you" thing, not cute, just murder. And Joe doesn't stop. When he moves to Los Angeles, he gets a fresh start and a fresh kill list. He takes out Jasper, who tries to collect a debt, and Henderson, that shady celebrity photographer. Joe decides he's the judge, jury, and executioner. By the time he's playing house in the suburbs with Love, things just spiral. People who get in their way start disappearing. Ryan, Love's ex, gone. And then in the biggest twist of all, Joe kills Love too, which is basically the toxic relationship version of "it's not you, it's me." It's murder. Even when Joe runs off to London for a clean slate, the pattern continues. New people, new accent, same old stabbing problem. He ends up killing professors, socialites, bodyguards. It's like a bloody tour of British high society. And here's the thing, under US law, most of these killings would count as first-degree murder. That means planned, deliberate, and cold-blooded. We're talking life in prison for each one. Some states would even consider the death penalty, and Joe's committed enough murders to make any prosecutor foam at the mouth. Realistically, Joe's looking at 10 life sentences minimum, and that's being generous. If you stack it all up, the guy wouldn't just die in prison, his ghost would still be in solitary. And the wildest part? He still somehow has fans online saying he's hot. Come on now, people. Jeffrey Dahmer had glasses too. Stay safe. So after all that, the lies, the stalking, the kidnapping, and yeah, the murders, how long would Joe Goldberg actually spend behind bars? Let's break it down. For identity theft, fraud, and impersonation, he's looking at around 20 years, give or take. Add stalking and harassment, that's another 15 years easy, especially with multiple victims. Kidnapping and false imprisonment, we're now hitting the 100-year mark because he's done that more times than I hit my snooze button. But then comes the real hammer, murder. With a staggering 10 confirmed kills, most of them planned and personal, Joe's not just facing one life sentence. He's racking up life after life after life. That's 10 life sentences. And no, they don't run them all at once. These are consecutive, which means even if Joe somehow survives one life sentence, he's got 9 more waiting for him. So, in total, Joe's facing multiple centuries behind bars, likely without the possibility of parole. If there's ever a real throw away the key case, it's this guy. The man would die in prison, reincarnate, and still be serving time. But hey, at least he won't need to build another glass box. The bars are already there. So the conclusion, monster, victim, or just Netflix's favorite sociopath. There you have it. Joe Goldberg, the guy who thinks murder is just a love language, would be spending the rest of his life locked up tighter than one of his bookstore cages. But here's the wild part. Even with all those crimes, a part of the internet still simps for this man. Is it the bookstore charm, the sad eyes, or are we all just a little too into red flags? Let us know in the comments. How long do you think Joe should serve? And do you think he could ever be redeemed, or is he just too far gone? And hey, if you made it this far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We've got more criminal breakdowns coming your way, and trust me, they get wilder and wilder.